70 Titus ends the 5-month siege of Jerusalem after destroying the Second Jewish Temple, later known as Herod's Temple. 1282 Peter III of Aragon lands at Trapani to intervene in the War of the Sicilian Vespers. 1363 The 5-week Battle of Lake Poyang begins, in which the forces of two Chinese rebel leaders, Chen Yuliang and Zhu Yenzhong, meet to decide who will supplant the Yuan dynasty. 1464 Pope Paul II succeeds Pope Pius II as the 211th Pope. He was elected to succeed Pope Pius II by the accesses in the first ballot of the papal conclave. 1574 Guru Ram Das becomes the fourth Sikh Guru, Master. He gave up his body to transcend the material world in 1581. 1594 King James VI of Scotland holds a masque at the baptism of Prince Henry at Stirling Castle. The 3-day celebration included tournaments, Amazons and female disguise and proper baptism. 1721 The Great Northern War between Sweden and Russia ends in the Treaty of Nystad. 1727 Anne, eldest daughter of King George II of Great Britain, is given the title Princess Royal, a title that had not been used since King Charles I first created it for his daughter Mary in 1642. 1757 Battle of Gross-Jägersdorf. Russian force under Field Marshal Stepan Fyodorovich Apraksin beats a smaller Prussian force commanded by Field Marshal Hans von Lehwaldt. This was the first battle in which Russia engaged during the 7 Years' War. 1791 HMS Pandora sinks after having run aground on the outer Great Barrier Reef the previous day, claiming the lives of 35 men, 31 crew, and 4 of the mutineers. 1799 The entire Dutch fleet is captured by British forces under the command of Sir Ralph Abercromby and Admiral Sir Charles Mitchell during the War of the Second Coalition of the French Revolutionary Wars. 1800 Gabriel Prosser postpones a planned slave rebellion in Richmond, Virginia because a violent rainstorm washed out bridges and inundated roads, but 2 enslaved men betrayed the rebels, telling the authorities about the plot. 1813 First Battle of Culm. French forces are defeated by an Austrian-Prussian-Russian alliance with the loss of between 13,000 and 25,000 men and 82 guns. 1813 Creek War. Fort Mims Massacre. Creek, Red Sticks, kill over 500 settlers, including over 250 armed militia, in Fort Mims, north of Mobile, Alabama. 1835 Australia. Melbourne, Victoria is founded by settlers who sailed from Van Diemen's Land, Tasmania, aboard the schooner Enterprise. 1836 The city of Houston is founded by Augustus Chapman Allen and John Kirby Allen, who pay just over $1.40 per acre for 6,642 acres near headwaters of Buffalo Bayou. 1862 American Civil War. Battle of Richmond. Confederates under Edmund Kirby Smith rout Union forces under General William Bull Nelson. It was the first major battle in the Kentucky Campaign. 1873 Austrian explorers Julius von Payer and Karl Weyprecht discover the archipelago of Franz Josef Land in the Arctic Sea. The Soviet Union annexed the islands in 1926 and maintained permanent weather stations there. 1896 Philippine Revolution. After Spanish victory in the Battle of San Juan del Monte, 8 provinces in the Philippines are declared under martial law by the Spanish Governor-General Ramon Blanco y Arenas. 1909 Burgess Shale fossils are discovered by Charles Doolittle Walcott in Canada. The fossils were formed around 505 million years ago in the mid-Cambrian period. 1914 World War I. Germans defeat the Russians in the Battle of Tannenberg. The battle resulted in the almost complete destruction of the Russian Second Army and the suicide of its commanding general, Alexander Samsonov. 1916 22 men from Sir Ernest Shackleton's Antarctic exploration team were rescued after being marooned on Elephant Island. The explorers had been left in a hole in the ice cliffs while Shackleton sailed for help in a rowboat. 1917 Vietnamese prison guards led by Trinh Van Can mutiny at the Thanh Nguyen Penitentiary against local French authority. 1918 Fanny Kaplan shoots and seriously injures Bolshevik leader Vladimir Lenin, which along with the assassination of Bolshevik senior official Moisey Uritsky days earlier, prompts the decree for Red Terror. 1922 Battle of Dumlupinar, the final battle in the Greco-Turkish War, Turkish War of Independence. The battle was fought from 26 to 30 August 1922 near Dumlupinar, Kütahya in Turkey. 1936 The RMS Queen Mary wins the Blue Riband by setting the fastest transatlantic crossing. The Blue Riband is an unofficial accolade given to the passenger liner crossing the Atlantic Ocean in regular service with the record highest average speed. 1940 The Second Vienna Award reassigns the territory of northern Transylvania from Romania to Hungary. 1941 The Tiina Agreement, a treaty regarding administration issues of the Transnistria Governorate, territory between the Dniester and southern Bug, is signed between Germany and Romania. 1942 World War II. The Battle of Alam el Halfa took place between 30 August and 5 September 1942 south of El Alamein during the Western Desert Campaign of the Second World War. 1945 The Japanese occupation of Hong Kong comes to an end. Hong Kong was handed over by the Imperial Japanese Army to the Royal Navy on 30 August 1945. British control over Hong Kong was thus restored. 1945 The Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, General Douglas MacArthur lands at Atsugi Air Force Base. This was a significant event in the history of Japan as it marked the beginning of the Allied occupation of Japan after World War II. 1945 The Allied Control Council, governing Germany after World War II, comes into being. 1959 South Vietnamese opposition figure Phan Quang Dan was elected to the National Assembly despite soldiers being bussed in to vote for President Ngo Dinh Diem's candidate. 1962 Japan conducts a test of the NAMC-YS-11, its first aircraft since World War II and its only successful commercial aircraft from before or after the war. 1963 The Moscow-Washington hotline between the leaders of the U.S. and the Soviet Union goes into operation. John F. Kennedy becomes the first U.S. president to have a direct phone line to the Kremlin in Moscow. 1967 Thurgood Marshall is confirmed as the first African-American justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. 1974 A Belgrade-Dortmund express train derails at the main train station in Zagreb, killing 153 passengers. 1974 A powerful bomb explodes at the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries headquarters in Marunouchi, Tokyo. 8 are killed, 378 are injured. 8 left-wing activists are arrested on May 19, 1975, by Japanese authorities. 1981 President Muhammad Ali Rajai and Prime Minister Mohammad Javad Bahanar of Iran are assassinated in a bombing committed by the People's Mujahideen of Iran. 1984 STS-41D. The Space Shuttle Discovery takes off on its maiden voyage. That flight launched 3 communication satellites and tested an experimental solar array wing. 1992 The 11-day Ruby Ridge standoff ends with Randy Weaver surrendering to Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, agents and U.S. Marshals. 1995 Bosnian War. NATO launches Operation Deliberate Force against Bosnian Serb forces. The operation was conducted between August 30 and September 20, 1995, and involved 400 aircraft and 5,000 personnel from 15 nations. 1998 Second Congo War. Armed forces of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, and their Angolan and Zimbabwean allies recapture Matadi and the Inga dams in the western DRC from RCD and Rwandan troops. 2014 Prime Minister of Lesotho Tom Tabana flees to South Africa alleging that the military was attempting to take power and wanted to kill him. 2019 A huge accident during the 2019 F2 Spa feature race caused young driver Antoine Hubert to die after sustaining major injuries.